It looks like we're on live now.
Yeah, we're live now. So we are streaming, everybody. Sorry about the delay. I thought we was live earlier. I actually did the monologue and everything, and it was all for naught. I'm not going to repeat it. Right? I don't feel like repeating it tonight. Yeah, I actually formatted my computer and reset it up, and not everything is where it usually is, and I'm still discovering I got to reload this and reload that. So that's been a little bit of a problem for me. So
well,
I did that last week. I did that sometime last week. So I've had a couple of shows where not everything is where I expect it to be, and what you can do, you know.
Well, I'm on my mini tower, and I just ordered Windows 10 to put on to replace 7 on my gaming computer, so I've got more power.
Oh, good.
And it'll be here next Friday. So,
all right. Hey, Gary, how you doing this evening?
Okay, you're not on YouTube yet, are you?
I should be.
Mine's not coming up.
Huh. Yeah, I'm editing it right now, so I'm surprised it's not streaming live. And it looks like let me see here. Let me finish this real quick. Done. And say, because no one's in the chat, so I got started kind of late. I actually thought I was streaming already, and come to find out I wasn't streaming. But it looks like we have 2 concurrent viewers, 3 concurrent viewers, 1 like so far. So I believe we are streaming.
Oh,
yep, now we have 2 likes. So let me know in the chat box if you can see us and hear us, if it's streaming all right. Oh, and Sparky just said you are live. Thank you, Sparky. Appreciate it. Jeff Riley says, evening, friends. Like sent. Thank you very much.
Hi, Jeff.
So now we're up to, now we have 6 concurrent viewers, 2 likes.
How come mine's not coming up? I hit my search, hit Stunt Hangar, and placing the skunk. That's my last one.
Huh. Yeah, it's we're public, and I don't know. I have no idea. So anyways, like I usually ask, if anyone's done any flying or building in their shop lately?
Well, we got snow today, so I have been out flying. And have been in the shop. It's been cold.
Yeah, that will slow you down, the snow and it being cold until you get acclimated to this new cold, right? New season.
Yeah. I did a Santa gig yesterday.
You did what? Oh, a Santa gig. All right, cool. Yeah. Very cool. Hey, Keith, how you doing?
Good.
Sorry about the delay. I thought I was streaming live when I started the show. Unbeknownst to me, it didn't stream. So, but I did post a link early enough. But so sorry about going a little bit late.
No problem here. I was late coming in too. So.
And Sparky says it is up on the Stunt Hangar page. So I guess I think he's talking to the link about.
It's there now. I came through that. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
See if I can get on here.
And Stuart, hey Stuart, thanks for coming in.
Hi, Stuart.
Hi.
You done any flying or building in your shop lately, either no. Keith or Stuart?
Not me.
Any building?
I did get a problem solved.
Oh, is this that muffler you wanted to?
Yeah.
Make it big here.
You fill it full of sand and then bend it?
Nope. I had a guy CNC it.
Oh.
He actually carved it from a solid block of aluminum.
And he's got a hole in it too?
Yep.
Oh,
Wow.
holy,
Wow.
Perfect.
How do you drill a hole in a bent pipe?
How's he what?
How does he drill a hole in a bent pipe?
Well, basically, it was a rectangular piece of aluminum. He drilled in here first, I think, and then he drilled in here, and then he cut the outside all off until it was round.
wow.
I know.
Now, let me ask you a question. It's none of my business. But was he a good friend and did it for nothing, or did it cost you your second mortgage on the house?
$350.
Wow.
Wow.
But it's, hey,
Just kidding.
okay.
It was 65.
That's not bad.
That's not
No, it
bad.
wasn't bad. I mean, I didn't want to spend that much, but the thing is, it totally fixed the problem.
Yeah.
That's good. And we have Brad Lapointe in here who hasn't been here in some time. Welcome back, Brad. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks, Charles.
Good to see you. What you been up to?
Not much. This is late for me. I go to bed early.
Yeah, I know that's the one comment I get from people is the show's too late. But I have a lot of people on the East Coast that they're 3 hours, ahead of me, and by the time I start, it's almost 10 o'clock, and they stay on till to end the show, which is after midnight. So I know it's not for everybody, but you can watch the reruns. You watch the replays. Is that what you watch when you get a chance?
No, I hardly ever.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Hey, Stuart, how are you mounting that pipe? Where does it go?
Well, actually, that's for an RC plane. I don't know if you knew that, but it's how am I going to fix it to the muffler?
Well, what direction are you going to point that thing? Does it go straight down or straight up, or what?
The piston's down in the plane, so I'm going to mount it about like that. It's going to be on a bit of almost like a 45-degree angle down. It's got to come down outside the bottom of the cowl.
What engine is this?
It's a DLA 20 cc.
Oh, big one, a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good size for a Cub.
Well, that should work.
Yeah, the Merco engines have the 40s, and a 60 has a adapter where you can point the muffler any direction you want.
Actually, I've got some adapters. I picked up with some stuff for OS engines where you can actually turn it. The nitro engine, turn it like for an LA or something. You can turn it 90 degrees.
Huh.
Not that I'm using that,
I
but
did a scale airplane of a Typhoon with a Merco 40 in it, and the engine gets lost inside that cowl, and the muffler on it points straight down out the bottom of the cowl.
oh, okay. So I'm glad I got this fixed. It's been a bit of a nightmare trying to get this
Been
engine.
bothering you for a month or two now.
Oh yeah, it's been trying to get a servo in to run the throttle, and it was just the engine wasn't really. I always put myself in these predicaments. I do it myself, beat myself up. That engine wasn't made for that plane, but I wanted the extra power on it, so made for a 15 cc instead of a 20.
Yeah, now you can put big wheels on it and make a stole plane out of it.
Well, I'm going to put some Dubro inflatable wheels on it. Like I think they're 4 or 5 inch, something like that. I can't remember.
Put Robert's tips on the wings.
No,
No,
it's-
just use the standard Super Cub wing, or
Yeah,
is
well,
it Super Cub or just a Cub?
it's a Cub. It's an ARF.
Okay.
So it's all done. So we're getting there though.
What's the wingspan on it?
I'm not sure. I think it's a fifth scale cub,
That'd be what, about 60 inches?
something like that in that area, probably.
Yeah,
You guys saw it on probably the fuselage before here.
yeah.
I had up, but so yeah, I'm getting closer to the end. That's going to help me. So
I had a friend that had one up when I lived in Wisconsin. But he had Super Tiger, he had a big bore alcohol engine. I don't know if they still make it, but it was a big old thing. He had that mounted in there.
oh, I've got a big nitro engine too for a I got another RC plane that's oops, this is a beast.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. That feels pretty light though. Looks like it's not very heavy, right?
It's an OS BGX-1, but it's pretty big.
It's a 1-inch bore.
I couldn't tell you.
You want to show it again, Stuart? I couldn't get you big at right away.
Oh, seaplane. That's oops.
Wow.
This is going to be a gas guzzler.
pretty light though. Looks like not very heavy, right?
Oh,
Not too bad. I mean, I think it's equivalent to about 5 horsepower.
Wow.
wow.
So I couldn't tell you.
You want to show it again, Stuart? I couldn't get you. We're getting a loop. Does anybody have any extra tabs open?
Gas guzzler. Pretty light.
Anybody got their
I mean, I think it's equivalent to about 5 horsepower.
Does anybody have an extra tab open of YouTube? We're getting a loop.
See if I mute myself.
Anybody have any extra tabs open?
no, it's still there. Well, I'll mute myself and we'll see.
Yeah, it went away.
I muted myself. That's me. How the heck that happened? I'm not on YouTube.
I don't know.
Is it still there?
No. No, you fixed it.
That's weird because I'm not on YouTube.
It must be me. Can you hear me?
I hear
Yeah.
you. I
Yeah.
hear you, Keith.
Well, got my mute on and off, or it's supposed to be muted, and then when I unmute it, you get this.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it is weird.
Still
Just gotta
there?
get out. No,
No, okay, I tried
you fixed it.
something.
It loops back.
I'm not on YouTube.
Yeah.
It must be me. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Oh yeah, we're still looping.
We're looping.
My mute on and off. It's supposed to be muted, and then when I unmute it, you get this.
It's delayed.
Okay, I muted myself and it was still coming through. So
Weird.
I'm gonna leave and come back.
All right, thank you, Keith. But
Okay.
The loops back, not on YouTube.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. I am still looping.
We're looping.
So let's see what happens.
exciting.
Automatic conversations. Please.
Yeah. Wow. No, we still have an issue.
No, it's me. Something happened. I'm trying to get off this thing now. Hold on.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Well, let's see here.
So
You know,
what's what I got a question for everybody here. What is your primary wintertime project for this winter?
ooh,
Ooh,
Finish my twister.
what'd you say, Stuart?
Finish my twister.
It's your twister.
Yeah,
finish your twister?
I gotta finish it.
Is it a franchise twister or a stock one?
Fancherizer.
Ah, cool.
And then Len's got he's got a wing, a foam wing that's already covered. So we may attempt to get a plan and try and put a plane together with it. I'll see what happens. If I
Ah,
get,
that'll make a quick project.
yeah, that'd be quicker than, it took me a long time to do the wing on the Fancherized twister. But yeah, when you got the wing all done, it's like, wow. It's not- But I got some RC stuff too. I'm gonna finish off for next spring. And I'm way behind on Cubs, one of them. I should have had that done. I was hoping to have that done last spring.
Yeah, I know how that is.
I'm kind of like Len. I got probably 10 planes at least sitting here waiting for servos and motors to be put in and installed and everything. I got everything. I just got to get to it and put them in and get them going. So
Hi, Howard.
Hey, Howard, how you doing? Thanks for
Okay.
coming in, Howard.
Well, I tell you, the reason I ask is I've got about 6 projects, and I know I'll be lucky if I get to one.
Yeah.
One of them is I got a new wing for my what's Walter Ullman's flapless stunner, the profile, Sakatumi. I had my I had my plane at Brodax, and I had it in the garage. I went in to pick it up, and I lost my balance. And there's planes all over the garage floor.
Wow.
And I lost my balance. I'm getting ready to fall, and I got holding my plane in my other hand, and I'm trying to, and I go staggering and tripping, and I finally fell on it just outside in front of the garage, fell right on the wing.
Oh no.
So I didn't fly at Brodax that year.
Oh man.
But I got another wing kit from Walter, and I'm thinking, oh, I really ought to, build that wing and put it in there. So that's one of my projects. I've got a little Ellie that's already started on the board. So that's another project. So I was just wondering if anybody was crazier than me and was doing more than one project. I heard that.
Well, I have a whole list of maybe 20 airplanes, and I thought I had a priority for getting some of those things done. And then when I lost my chiseler or big job a couple of weeks ago, all those priorities went down the drain. And my
yeah.
experience of building 2 airplanes at one time just doesn't work, because one of them just doesn't ever get finished.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
Keith, come up and finish my twister.
That's not what I'm advertising for.
How about you, Charles? What you got on the board?
Well, I still have precious balsa on my bench, and it's embarrassing, but I need to finish that. But I've been spending so much time on the SV11, and then I just started. Actually, I really benefited today. I took out the Brodak P40. It was given to me, but it was in bad shape, and I did a lot of repairs on it and flew it out today. And plane's flying pretty good. I had that plane set up. People always say, get a plane you don't care about to get your bottoms low. And so that's kind of what the role of this P40 is. It's a throwaway plane, but I wanted to be able to fully adjust it. And profiles are everything's outside for the most part, so you can adjust just about everything. So so it flew pretty good today, and hoping to really make some improvements on my pattern with that plane as far as just practicing getting down low and staying low. Hey Stephen, thanks for coming in. How you doing?
Very good. How are you?
Doing well.
Precious Balsa, is your plan to get it done this year?
Well,
No,
it's a
yeah,
lumber
this year,
wagon.
yeah, 20.
It's a lumber wagon,
2023, yes.
it's a lumber wagon and he's waiting for the next shipment of balsa to come in.
Yeah, 2023. I didn't finish it in 22, didn't finish it in 21, didn't finish it in 20.
20. You opened the box in 2016.
I don't remember when I
Look
started
at
it.
the plans.
Yeah, that's it's been a long time. But everyone has planes like that.
You got to give him credit. He opened the box in 2016 and said, "Oh, look, I already got the wing done."
Yeah. I don't think it was 2016. I'm not sure when it was. I opened the box. I have to look at my Brodak invoice when I bought the wing. Hey, Caffeine, thanks for coming in.
Hi.
So we was just
You
kind
live in your
of John
private
started the
cafe?
subject.
Can you see my plane?
Oh, look at that.
there.
Make it big. Let me make you big. Hang on. You going to the flying field?
Yeah, I just finished my practice, but it didn't go really well. Yeah, I flew twice today, but the first one I flew my Banshee, but I guess it was because I had crashed before and then the engine thrust is a bit down. So from the takeoff, it felt like it's always going down.
Okay.
Even my neutral is going down. So I guess it was because the down thrust, I crashed inverted on my last flight last month. So I guess it had something to do with the thrust. It changed the thrust a bit, and I didn't fix it before I took off today. So yeah, it was really hard to keep it level, to keep it. Yeah, I just couldn't make the loop.
Well,
Wow.
I've got a question for you because I fly with down thrust. And
Yep.
what down thrust does is it stops it helps control the propeller precession when
Okay.
and so I would make sure that all of your alignments, your stab,
Okay.
your wing, and your thrust, and
Mhm.
it's okay to have a degree or two of down thrust. If you got
Okay.
more than that, you would have trouble. But it might be that you knocked something else out of kilter when you crashed it. So
Okay.
have you got an incidence meter?
No, but someone at my club should have one. I will ask some of
Okay.
them.
Yeah, try that out, because
And yeah, I will check that later. And then on the second flight, I flew my Factor. It was good after I got the fuel tank replacement from Brodak. It went well. I had no problem with the fuel distribution.
excellent.
It was actually I flew like almost 10 minutes because I filled it up 4.5 Oz, and yeah, it stayed like 10 minutes, and but somehow I think I didn't start fast enough, so I was also having trouble to climb to make the loop, so I just stay level, and somehow the tension is very strong. It's pulling out really strong, and I actually got really tired after half of the flight. But yeah, luckily I didn't crash because of it's almost I almost got cramp.
Wow. That is some line tension you have.
Yeah. I moved back the lead out guide.
Okay.
Is it the problem?
Yeah,
Do
I
you
think
think
so.
that's the problem?
Yeah, I think so. The lead out position. If it's too far back, you will get excessive line tension, especially down below. Once you go up higher, it'll kind of fade a little bit.
There's a rule of thumb on lead up position to start with. And
Uh-huh.
then you find at the tip, find where it balances, where the airplane balances. And
Mhm.
then put your thumb at that balance point and have the lead out, the center of the lead outs, right where your thumb, right at the edge of your thumb. So in other words, one thumb out gets you a good place to start, and then you can play with it from there. But you'll be safe. Hi there, you got us on somewhere else, Mike.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike Lonke. Thanks for coming in.
What's up?
I think I've got some pictures of my when you try to hang out by the lead out. Let me
Oh yeah,
let me
that
share
work.
it.
Yeah.
But it's I think it's not going. Yeah, I'm just gonna share it anyway. Wait a moment. Can I share?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Wait a moment, please. Yeah, this. I don't know if it's too excessive. Like, is it? I don't know if you can
It
see
only
it.
looks like maybe a degree or
Yeah, it's kind of hard to find a reference to know what is.
oh look
Let
at
me-
it. Oh look at it.
Let me find another picture of my setup. Wait a moment.
Sure.
This one.
You might have a little more than you need.
Is it too much?
Oh, it's holding on. That's the old rule. That's the old rule. But that ain't gonna hurt it. Yawn.
Yeah, we're getting a loop again.
Yeah, that happened when Mike came in.
And
Yeah, that's my update so far.
Yeah. Well, you had a good day. You got two airplanes in the back there. They don't look like they're damaged. So that's a good day of flying.
Yeah. Even though I didn't do any stunt, but yeah, it's good to be back after a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Did that
you're
go
a
away,
new dad, so this is good that you got out a chance to go fly. That's amazing, just being a new father.
Well,
So be happy about
Yeah.
that.
He's in the tropics, so it's always nice there.
Yeah, that's true, John. Yeah, we don't have winter, so we can fly all year long.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you found the club, so you got guys you could fly with now.
Yep. Yeah, and another good news is I just received my it's like AMA membership number, so
Oh,
I
did
can
you?
I can have my INA Indonesia and number registration, and then next year we will have the stunt competition.
All right.
Outstanding.
Yeah, finally.
very good.
That's great. That's great news.
Have you
Yeah.
ever had one in Indonesia before?
What's that, Sergeant?
Have you ever had a stunt competition in Indonesia before? Will this be the first one?
No, it's not going to be the first one, but after a long hiatus, it's going to be the first, I guess. The last one was in 2013, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
you're gonna advertise it well. See if you can bring some more flyers out of the woodwork.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good news. I think.
That is good news. Hey, welcome, Carl.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for coming in.
There we go.
Question is hey Howard.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll know this. The batteries that they're using for flying stunt, they're 4-cell, right?
Some people use force cells.
Do you know that I'm talking about the ion batteries?
Yeah.
Do you know what size they are? The ion battery itself, because there's like 4 in there, right? But like there's an 18650, and then there's a 21700, and then there's a 26650.
I think
I'm not saying those are for stunt, but I'm wondering if it's one of those cells. I'd like to kind of get an idea.
I think folks are using 18650s.
Okay,
Now,
that's what I thought.
what you would use for a force cell.
Now, I don't know. Somebody was talking earlier in the past week or so about somebody that was making those up.
Yeah. Dane Martin, Las Vegas.
I'd like to get a hold of him to talk to him about it.
You can also get hold of Brent Williams. He's making them for himself.
Good. Yeah.
Brent Williams.
Yeah.
He comes on here a lot.
Williams is making them. And from what I understand now, Chris Cox is also making batteries.
Yeah. Brent also sells the Fancher handles. So, and Chris Cox is in Canada.
Okay. Howard, what name did you say it was?
Dane Martin.
Stuart, are you on Facebook?
Yep.
Are you on the Control Line Flying group?
I think I might be in one of them. I can't remember which one because I'm in like RC ones and a whole bunch.
Well, Dane is an admin on that site, so you can find him there.
Oh, okay.
You'll be able to message him. It's Control Line Flying Facebook. And his company is Full Throttle Batteries.
I just got a comment from Brent Williams. He said, Dane Martin is stepping back from building batteries for a while, work and family time constraints.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been busy with family time. He's with the kids and stuff. He's been quite occupied. He puts a lot on his plate, which I appreciate with Dane. He does a lot for the hobby, and then he does a lot with his family, the kids.
Yeah,
he keeps himself busy all year round. He's always doing something.
You said Brian Williams. Sorry, was he in
Brent
Williams? He was. Which one was in Canada?
Oh, Chris Cox.
Chris Cox.
He's in Canada. He's making batteries.
Do you know how I can get a hold of him by chance? Anybody?
Yeah. Let's see.
I got his email around somewhere.
Yeah, I have it too. You can send me a PM on Stunt Hangar, and I can send it to you.
Okay.
I got it over. Yeah.
I have another message. I think this is for you, Stuart, regarding your battery question. Brent Williams says, Molicel P28A in, like the last one says P42A in 21700 size.
Mm.
Good enough.
That one's I'm not aware of, but
Hey, Rich, thanks for coming in, Rich. And Lynn Burrell, thank you for coming in, Lynn.
Hey, guys.
And Rich, it's great.
Good
How are you guys
afternoon.
doing?
Awesome. I'm
Awesome.
doing well.
Good. Hey, Lynn, let me let Stuart finish this first. Stuart, you have any more questions about the?
No, go ahead. I'm fine. That'll be good for now. Get me started.
So I went out with two cut down Zor props. Remember I told you I was using the 12.5 and you said it was too much. So I went out, I cut one down to 11 3/4 and the other one 11 5/8. I start off with 11 5/8 just first, and then which was better, but the motor came on so quick and all over the place. Then I went to the 11 3/4, and that came on really nice.
Okay,
So thanks for that tip. That
Good
worked out
show.
really well.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So I took out the P40. I did a lot of work on it yesterday. It was given to me with some damage, and I've been working on the plane, and I didn't like how the controls were set up. So I redid all that. Did a lot of work. I mean, I worked on it all day Thursday, and went out flying today. Knew I was going to do some more flight trimming, and by the end, it was flying pretty good.
Those P40s fly pretty well. Brad has one that flies really good.
Yeah, Mike Lonke won the Intermediate Internationals with one.
Yeah, they're a good, there's no doubt they're a good flying airplane.
Yeah. Have you ever seen one with a Brodak 40? Because I've only seen them with LA 46s.
Yeah, it might be a little underpowered. That's just my opinion.
I was just interested. I was thinking about maybe a Brodak 40. But my plane seems to be a little bit tail heavy, so I'm gonna ex-nay that idea because I probably need the weight. I'm gonna put a heavier spinner on it now. So next time I go out flying, it'll be a little bit better. And Brent Williams here. So Stuart, we have Brent in the house. He can answer your questions directly.
Yeah.
Lithium-ion.
Hey there. Yeah, so for the 6S packs, if you're going to make 6S, you'd use the P28A Mollicell, or if you want to go more expensive, you can buy the P28B when they come on the market. They have even lower resistance, but I'm not convinced they're necessary. So anyway, you'd use the P28A for it's a 2800 milliamp hour battery. So you can make smaller packs out of those too. So you could make a smaller 4S pack out of that. If you had a nobler size plane or something like that, it'd weigh about 7.5 ounces for a 4S pack, which is kind of cool. And then in the 21700 size, you can get a 4200 milliamp hour, and you could build a 4S pack out of the 21700s. And so you'd get a 4200 milliamp hour battery that weighs 10 and some odd ounces. It weighs 290 some odd grams, which is but if you have an existing 4S setup, it would be a pretty cool way to go, because you'd have a battery that would have gigantic amounts of capacity and pretty low weight.
Did you ever build a five cell?
I haven't. They're just it's harder to build them because you just end up with a lump off to the side. You can build 3 and you can build 4 and you can build 6, and it looks pretty normal. But with a 5, there's no reason you can't. It's just to accommodate that 5th cell, you've got kind of a lump.
Yeah, actually, I might end up using this in RC.
So there's no reason you can't. It's just however you want to pack them together. Just make sure you have fish paper, insulating, or use cell separators. If that's one way to keep things safe too, is to use the little plastic things called cell separators, and it keeps the battery.
Are they just like a little ring at the end, you might say, at the battery?
Yeah,
okay.
And those keep the batteries from keeps the battery from touching each other. That's basically what you're trying to do, is isolate each cell and keep them from rubbing and becoming unfriendly with each other. So there's a lot of wiring diagrams out there on the internet of how to do it. The balance wire basically goes to each positive node. So that's each one of the balance things on your balance connector will go to one of the positive nodes on the pack, and then the negative obviously goes to your negative and your ground.
Great. Okay. Okay, this is just something. I'm starting to
Dan
look
Martin put up some videos on, good safety practices of what to look out for, and assembly ideas so you don't cook your batteries while you're assembling it. Use a good hot iron with a lot of energy in it to solder your leads on. And
Okay.
Yeah, so
I already got one of those. I got a really good soldering iron, and I might buy a spot welder.
yeah, so
I saw your battery over at the contest.
yeah, Dane built those for me. He did great work. So I messaged him, within the last couple of weeks, and he's just busy, with, multiple jobs and families, and it's just other stuff. He's stacked up to the gills on his time constraints. So
You plan on coming out this year again, right? For 2023?
I sure hope so. Yeah, I had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, yeah, because I'm getting everything set up again and making sure I have the rooms reserved and everything.
So I've had an interesting conversation going on with Dennis Adamison about the potential of 3S and maybe even 2S systems. He's contemplating experimenting with 2S 40, those big 4,200 milliamp hour cells, and trying a 2S system on like ringmaster size planes, and something to experiment with. So you could build a 3S system, like 3S 4200s, and your pack would only weigh 7 3/4 ounces. So that's kind of a compelling thing, that you could fly a 50-ounce plane on a big 3S system. And so what's interesting about the whole thing, it's not, lithium-ion isn't the panacea that keeps giving and giving. It's just that they're an interesting option for the home guy, because you can build them. It's something that just about anybody could do. So it presents an interesting do-it-yourselfer option for guys out there. So
okay, I was trying to figure out what the allure was. Now that you said that makes sense.
So the allure is that you can do it yourself at a reduced cost if you're crafty at all, and then they are reported to have much longer lifespans, so many more charge cycles before they degrade. So 500 to 1,000 cycles potentially per pack is, if they will do that. That's, for some people, that's a season of flying. Like if you're Orestes Hernandez or Paul Walker, or someone that flies every day a lot. But for some people, that would be 10 years of flying. If you could imagine having a set of batteries or a can of fuel that lasts for a decade, that's compelling ideas for people. And then they are marginally safer than LiPo batteries. So that's another compelling thing, is that there is a somewhat reduced risk of lighting your house on fire. So.
Is there a shut off for low voltage on those?
Yeah, and it's lower than LiPo. So the actual cutoff voltage of these things, I think, is clear down at like 2.7. So you can take them deeper, and the discharge curve is flatter than LiPo. So it's not. And then one of the problems with lithium-ion is, if you need batteries that are really high discharge rate. So if you're flying pylon in RC, or if you're flying FPV racing with little quad drone things, where those things need massive amounts of energy right now, that's the wrong application for lithium-ion. Like in those scenarios, they're using like 120 C battery, massive discharge rate stuff. And but fortunately, Stunt is like, if you data log your flights on 6S, you're really not pulling that many amps. So if it's like right in the wheelhouse of what a lithium-ion battery can do, it's perfectly happy doing it. And then based on the guys that are using them with like the active systems, they like them a lot, you know, like Chris Cox and Paul Walker and Joe Daly and fellows like that seem to like them. The system that I'm using is 6S, but it's a human system, and I'm not really asking a lot of it. So I don't have a super fancy active timer in my plane, but the 6S lithium ions worked great for me down in Vegas. But that's
So how many C would they be?
I know that Dane has answered that question before, and I'll find it and let you know on that. But I'm not sure what the discharge rate is. I know on the so the battery, the Molicel P28As are rated for a 35 amp continuous discharge rate, which is perfectly fine for success stunt use, you know. And the larger ones, the P42As, are rated for 45 amp continuous discharge, which is a substantial jump.
Sorry, what number was that?
P42A.
Okay. And it was 45?
4200.
4200.
So there's from what I've heard, they're actually planning to make a 4500. So that's massive, huge amounts of capacity, you know.
Yeah, I use this one in a it's 5200, but this is our C plane.
Yeah. Well, that's it's a whole new world to try and see how viable these are in stunt, and if they give us some new and better or new and different options. So the interesting thing that since they're a DIY type deal, you know, and they're relatively inexpensive to build, it's like a thing where like a club or a group of friends could buy a tab welder collectively and decide we're going to have a battery building event, and you just get together and build the things, and all of you end up with a bunch of batteries at the end of the day. And you know, it's kind of an interesting thing. I know clubs have done that with like foam cutting. You know, they've had a foam cutting event for their club, and everyone goes home with a stack of wings and stuff like that. So
yeah. Okay.
Anyway, it's interesting. It's a whole new territory of the DIY battery world for model airplanes. So it's unheard of.
So where do you get these batteries from?
Lithium-ion wholesale. There's various places online. I just want to make sure it's a legit place selling real ones, because just like everything else, there's a whole market of Chinese counterfeit junk out there. So
Okay.
as long as it's a reputable place, that's okay. But just like everything in the modern age, buyer beware. So,
You're getting them in
Alrighty.
the US? You buying
I'm sorry,
them in
what?
buying them in the US? Or the
Yeah,
US?
I bought them from a place called Lithium-ion Wholesale, and another place. I just bought a few of the 4200s for an experiment, and let me see if I can find. It was the 18650batterystore.com. It was the place that I bought them from on a Black Friday sale. So
Hang on one second, Brent. Howard raised his hand digitally. Hey, Howard, go ahead and ask your question or make your comment.
Okay, well, let's see. First, here's one of Dane's batteries.
Let me make it big.
Yeah.
1 second.
I'll
Let me
put
see
it
it
right.
again. Let me see it again, Howard. Thank you. Okay.
That's a 6 cell with the 18650 cells, I presume. Brent, are you interested in some holders that'll hold 3 cells separated? I could print some pretty easily.
yeah, it would be interesting to see. I know Fred Underwood was talking about that an enterprising fellow could create a neat printed cell separator deal. So
Yeah.
that would be
the other notion I had was these things are lighter, but I can't take advantage of it because it's so long. If they could be scrunched up in the different orientation, up and down.
Yeah, they certainly can. The reason guys have they tried that long pack just to promote cooling, but as long as you can do it in 3 on a side, 3 and 3, create just a brick.
One could separate them and have places for air to flow.
True.
Cool them.
Yep.
So that way, the CG could be forward without having ballast.
Yeah, that's actually what Redwood was one of his things of he's a proponent of the idea of a separator for the airflow, just because the cells aren't stacked together and touching each other. Just he basically he thought it wouldn't take that much airflow past them to at least have an air exchange of somehow.
Yeah,
may not be.
They shouldn't put out much heat.
Yeah,
even have a little higher internal resistance than the others. Make me a sketch of a separator you're interested in for 3 cells now. No, but
so I don't know what the draw of million of like with a 3-blade system with the Igor timer, but down in Vegas when I pulled my batteries out like right after the flight, took my back of opened up the hatch, pulled the battery out.
Pardon me, Brent. Brent, your audio is getting worse and worse. Did you move or?
No, I'm just down in my basement. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's we can understand you, but it's really bad. There's another subject that, matter of fact, Caffeine started, and he's really curious about. Let me see here. What did he say? He was wondering what could be preventing his plane from climbing up to make a loop. It just seemed like it couldn't do that this morning. And then Steven said for him to check his control alignment and see that the elevator is straight and in line with the wing and flaps, and the elevator are neutral to start.
Yeah, see if you're coming loose.
Say it again, Howard.
See if the controller is loose from the elevator or the bell crank's wobbling or something.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
If you got an ARF, that sort of thing can happen.
Yeah, Caffeine, I was curious, did this plane ever loop or it's a change where now it won't loop?
For my Banshee, it just going down, always going down from the beginning. Yeah, it could be because of the crash. I don't know, but on my Factor, I had the difficulty to climb up. It's pulling out so hard. So I don't know. Could that be the problem as well? When it's pulling out so hard, do I have to?
That could be a contributing factor. I would just move the lead outs forward and to lessen that line pull. Have you ever looped the Vector before or never have?
No. I haven't done any stunt with my Vector, just level. So I don't know yet if it has something to do with the alignment or so on. So, but yeah.
I'd suspect
it'd be really nose heavy.
That's what I was thinking. It could be really nose heavy.
If it pulls real hard, it won't go up. It might be nose heavy.
Good point.
Sure sounds like that to me.
Good point.
Yeah, for Factor, it could be nose heavy. I just have to change the I will try to change the muffler to the tongue muffler, but for my Banshee, it's I think it's because the other reason, because
is it diving on you in level flight?
What's that?
Is it diving on you in level flight, or is it staying?
Yeah. yeah. My Banshee was like that.
diving.
It's kept diving. So it was kind of hard to control.
Okay.
But before today, it was really fine. I could do the consecutive loop. I could do the inverted and outside loop. So the wing over, it was no problem before, but just today, I had that problem.
Your alignments changed somewhere.
Okay, yeah, that's possible for my Banshee.
Yeah, because you can have the lead outs back and it's gonna just make the airplane pull to that point, but it's not gonna make the plane dive on you.
Okay.
It's not gonna make the plane dive on you. If you had them all the way forward or you had them all the way back, it's not gonna make the plane dive on you in level flight.
If it's different than it was before and you haven't changed anything, there's something in the airplane has changed for the worse.
Yep.
So look at what's loose.
You know, you guys know, hang on a second. You guys know we're talking about two planes at the same time and they have two different characteristics. So I know it's kind of confusing, but when he's talking about the plane that's diving, that's the Banshee, which crashed. It didn't dive before. Is that correct, Caffeine?
Yes, that's correct, Charles.
Okay, it didn't. And now, and then he's talking about the line pull is its vector.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so,
that's
so we have two. I know it's no one's fault, but it's just kind of confusing. We got to keep them straight.
That's okay.
Well, no, we're answering the question as he's bringing them up on both similarities for him and what to look for and work with. So he has to adjust that within the airplane.
But just for our audience, I think we just focus on one plane at a time, and we'll just focus on that. And when we finish that, we can talk about the other plane.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, let's pick a plane.
Well, how about
the vector?
How about the vector? I mean, the vector seems like it's never been crashed.
Okay.
So that's something that was easy. We should be able to dissect that. Now, the vector, did you ever what we call a pre-flight, setup?
Bench test.
Yeah, that's the balance is a bit nose heavy, but it's not that much. But I guess
you think
that would be the reason. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you think. It may be very nose heavy.
Yeah.
I've had airplanes that I thought were pretty close, and I took them out to the field, and oh my God, they're so nose heavy I can hardly fly it.
If it's a bit nose heavy and you don't have a lot of deflection in your controls, it won't turn.
That's right.
Yeah.
It shouldn't dive on him in anything.
That was the Banshee.
That was the other airplane.
Yes,
Mixed up
it's
again.
not making it climb. If it's nose heavy, it's not going to climb.
It's just it climbed, but not.
But it won't pull out.
Yep. It's just going like diagonally,
It's
not going. It wasn't making a loop. Yeah, sure. That I will do that. I will check for the nose heavy. I've got my tongue muffler, so I will put that into my Banshee. Yeah, I'm putting my Enya into my sorry.
Oh, you mean your vector?
Vector. Yes. Yeah. I've got my tongue muffler, so I will try to put that on my vector because I'm putting an Enya on my vector. As you know, Enya is always
heavy motor. Yes, heavy motor.
It's always heavy motor compared to other.
I'd almost bet on the
motors,
fact that you're nose heavy.
Yeah.
There's also, you also could have a bias, a bias in your elevator, between your elevator and your flaps. So you want to make sure those are centered, like Steve said.
Yep.
When one's at neutral, the other's at neutral.
Yep. For my vector, I guess the control is no problem. It didn't dive like the Banshee. It flew great. It has very it was easy to control, but
I think it's just nose heavy and won't turn. I think that's your main problem.
Yeah.
from what I'm
Okay.
hearing.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Before you take it out, though, stick the plane on its nose, hold it by the tail, look straight down at it, hold the elevator at neutral and see that your flaps are exactly equal. Not that one's a little higher or lower.
Okay. Yeah.
Out of alignment there.
That's possible. So I guess
You have everything.
for my factor, for my factor, I will try to change the muffler first to get rid the nose heavy problem, and then if it's still pulling out so hard, I will try to move the lead out guide, I guess.
Yeah,
Do the plans have a CG mark to give you an idea where it is? Check it on.
Balance the plane, not tail weight.
Yeah, just add a little bit of tail weight to it and get it where you kind of want it. Try it again.
Okay.
The easiest way I find to do it is just wrap some solder around the tail wheel leg. That way you can change it quickly. You can remove it or add more or do what you have to do very quickly instead of trying to glue weights on the airplane. And
No,
then
it's a Monaco finish, right?
Yeah.
It's a Monaco finish. Buy them quarter ounce stick-on weights. They're the tire weights. You get them at an auto store or anywhere. The quarter ounce, they're easy to work with and take off.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, to each his own.
Well, I hope you get that worked out, Caffeine.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Oh, you're welcome. It's kind of hard to give a haircut over the phone. And
not for you, Charles.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I have a couple comments from the chat box. Let me catch up with the chat box. Edward Carlisle says, like sent. Thank you, Edward. Appreciate that. Right now, we're up to 12 likes and we've had 21 viewers. So please please smash the like button. That helps the analytics of the show. All right. And then Paul Taylor says, hey guys, like sent, two thumbs up. Thank you, Paul. And then Jeff Riley says the Banshee sounds to me like it had a line eyelet twisted over a line clip.
Could be.
That can happen too. You know what we're talking about, Caffeine? Do you know what we're talking about?
No. What's that?
So sometimes when you take off with a plane, the eyelet on the flying lines gets hung up on the connector, and it's not in the center, and so you don't have all the control that you.
Yeah.
So it either gives it too much up or too much down, depending on which line.
That's possible because when it landed, I saw the connector. It didn't sit on the center of the eyelet. It just
that might have been it.
Yeah.
Now are you flying by yourself with a stooge, or did you have someone release the plane?
I finally tried my stooge. I stake it onto the ground, and I have my carpet for my runway as my portable runway. It went well.
Oh, good. Yeah, well, you want to make sure as you walk out to your lines, make sure I usually will kind of drag my lines through my fingers to keep the line tension on the connector so the connector can't do that thing if I'm flying by myself. Just go out as I go out to center circle. I'm just kind of going through the lines, but making sure I have line tension to keep those connectors straight. And then when I get to the handle, I again make sure those connectors are straight.
Yeah, using the stooge.
Now I'm not sure who it was. Maybe it was someone was showing some tubing they use to. Was it you? So they put the tubing that slides over the connector to make sure it always stays straight.
Exactly. Because
you want to explain that tubing again, Lynn?
Well, the idea is that the tubing goes right up to the connector where it hooks into the airplane, and therefore it can't loop back and loop over itself. That's the idea of it, to keep it simple.
Did you kiss your finger there?
What's that?
Looks like you have a cut on your finger.
Yeah, This one?
Yeah, is that a cut from an APC prop?
No, it was from the CA glue.
You know what you don't want? What you don't want to do is spill the CA on your seat and then sit on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
What a guy, nice comment, Phil.
I think Wendy did that to himself once. That sound about right, Lynn?
I never heard about that one, but I'm sure it's possible. We've all done stuff when it comes to CA glue.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We've
I know.
all stuck ourselves to something, and it's all funny for the other guy until you're the one who's stuck to something and can't deal with it.
It's funny,
Right.
you're the one screaming.
Yeah, that's right. Or you're the one. It's all funny until you're the guy sitting in a merge. Yeah.
But there was the one guy that used to perform at Brodax.
Mason, we're turning in.
What is?
Who's
Anyways,
that?
Who's
I don't know.
turning in?
The ghost.
Anyways, there was a Wendy Winowski video of this guy that used to perform at Brodax playing a banjo, and he made up all these songs. And he detailed this event where he went downstairs to check a glue up, but he wasn't fully clothed. And, make a long story short, he ended up gluing himself where you don't want glue to be at. And the song was about that. It was just so hilarious.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. How do you explain that when the wife comes home, huh?
Yeah. So
Stuff happens.
Hey, I muted your mic, Rich. I think you had I think your wife was talking to you. So if you want to talk, you got to unmute your mic, Rich. Yeah, you're muted, Rich. You got to unmute your mic.
There you go.
All right. I'm going to have to leave anyway. So, yeah, that was what was happening. So I'm going to deal with that. All right.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in, Rich. All right. Take care, man.
All right. Good night.
See ya.
Good night.
I know.
I got an attack cat here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's got a few of those.
One time I glued both hands to the workbench.
That's a problem.
I couldn't get loose today. It was late at night and my wife was asleep in the bedroom above me. So I called her until eventually she woke up and she came down and I told her where to get some nitro in the cabinet so I could use as a solvent. And she got it and brought it to me and went back to bed. Never said anything because it was just such a routine thing, I guess.
It's a routine thing.
That's not good, Howard.
You're never going to give up completely on IC, right? You're going to keep some fuel around.
I've never done that one yet. I'm gonna have to try it.
It better not happen to me because I don't have any backup to help me out.
You're in trouble.
Yeah,
Howard,
you'll
you're
find
no
some way.
combat guy. You must have been pitting for somebody and glued yourself to the plane and had the guy throw the plane while you're still glued to it.
I haven't done that.
Oh, I did it. Took the fast cal right off Steve Cott's plane.
Oh, gee.
My bond was stronger than his.
Holy shit. Wow.
Workbench.
Well, that's like having a little fin on the palm of your hand and then remember something you forgot.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. You won't forget it again.
When we lived in California, had my workshop in the garage. I don't know, I was working on something. I had a 2x4 board. I don't know, 2x4 is maybe 6-8 feet long. I was using it for help hold a jig or something. And anyway, for some reason, I messing with CA and I got my thumb stuck to that dumb board. and I couldn't reach for anything. I just kind of stuck there on the floor of the garage. My wife came home from work and came in and looked at me, laughed, and went in the house.
I don't have a lot of sympathy sometimes.
None. Zippo.
Zippo.
Zippo on
House
sympathy.
like over peace.
Oh, man.
So since we're talking about CA, what do you guys use? Do you guys predominantly use thin or predominantly use medium or predominantly use thick? What do you guys do?
Yes.
Thin.
Then and thick.
Thin it is. Okay.
Then
Medium.
majority of it is thin, and then I use thick. So
I never use thick. I use medium and thin. And the medium I do all my joints with. In the thin I use if I have to wick in to do something.
Anything other than thin is just an admission of poor craftsmanship.
Oh. Say no more. Say no more.
So with the
I guess
Baking
I-
soda is for Howard.
Hey,
You just use that for gap filler.
yeah, basically gap filler. If you have a small area, I use a medium or thick. This is in a gap area. You
Well, I
draw-
guess I must be a little bit have a little bit of craftsmanship because I don't use thick. So I'm sort of in the middle.
Keep trying, Len. Keep trying.
Tom Ramel, he provided a like. Thank you very much, Tom. Appreciate that. Now, regarding the thin, I use I've seen Wendy, all those years he'd have that that tube you would tape onto the top of the thin bottle.
Yeah,
I don't do that. I don't do that. I buy hundreds of these little small millimeter pipettes.
Oh, yeah.
Transfer pipettes. And that's
They
what I
work good.
use.
They work good.
Those are what you use. Those plastic tubes that you suck it out of the bottle. Yeah. Yep. That's what you use.
Okay, that's what I use too.
Get you a good, clean joint.
That stick you put on the bottle, that don't work worth a damn.
Yeah, it never worked well for me. I know that there's some material that it doesn't. It works pretty good. Wendy used to order some stuff from. I forgot where he got it from, but I tried all that stuff. I never had much success with taping it on and working the transfer pipettes work so much better.
Yeah.
They just slide right on the bottle, don't they?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah.
But then the whole glue shut, and then you got to pop it open again. Then you end up boring the hole open more, and then the stuff pours out like crazy. The whole thing's a shit show.
Welcome to Thin CA.
What do you got there, Stuart? Let me see what you got going on.
Yeah.
Right? There's a trick to this. When you're done, you tap it on the bench. It knocks all the glue back out of the hole, out of the
Like that. Oh.
Yeah.
When I'm done doing it, I take it and I tap it. And then I'll take it and I'll squeeze it a bit just to make sure it's got a airflow.
It's got airflow. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it'll last days. I never put a cap on it.
Yeah.
It stays okay.
That's brilliant. I never thought of that.
I don't use that tube on top of the cap. I actually have a transfer pipette that I use itself. Has a little bulb on it. I squeeze the bulb and I suck it out of the container.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's a pipette.
You're talking about them plastic tubes, them test tube things.
No, it's a pipette. I'm in my office. I have to maybe show you sometime.
Show you. I got a couple of different ones.
They sell you like 500.
Short one and a long one. Hang on half a second. I gotta open the bag up.
Yeah, I buy them off of eBay. I get like a bag of several hundred, and I just throw them away. I just use them and throw them away. I used to try to reuse them, but now
The one that's in your right hand is the one I use.
yeah, I use one that's even smaller than that. It's longer, or it's just as long, but
Wow.
it's a small milliliter, or even a half a milliliter.
I've never seen one of those.
I've used ones that he just similar to him that's in his right hand. That's the long set. I have one that's similar to that.
Yeah. Those are transfer pipettes, Lynn. Just
Oh, okay. I've never seen one in my life. I've
they
always
come in
just,
sweet.
and they come in different volumes.
Santa Claus will put one in your stocking here.
how do you suck the glue into it though?
Oh, you just squeeze the bulb and it sucks it up.
Okay, so you just put that right in the bottle, do you?
Exactly.
Turkey
Okay.
ball things, you know, you suck the gravy out, you know.
Not something. Okay, cool. Like a turkey baster.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly exactly the way it is.
Okay, that's cool.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
All
what
right.
I've been doing. That works really well.
Any turkey baster.
Well, I build a lot of turkeys, so it should work just fine.
Any turkey baster, exactly. Yeah.
We don't need mine.
Hey, Howard has his hand raised. Go ahead, Howard.
Yeah, I'll show you the Derek Moran trick.
Okay.
Okay, here's a little piece of Teflon film. You can use polyethylene film or saran wrap probably, and put a drop of CA on the film like so. Can you see it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yep.
Then use the pipette tip, this little thing there to you touch it to the drop and it will suck some up by capillary action.
Oh, I
Then you
see.
touch this to whatever you're gluing and the glue goes in there.
Oh, wow.
It's a way to put just a bit of glue on stuff.
Isn't that
Saving
sweet?
weight.
Wow. I
Wow.
might build a light airplane yet.
Yeah,
Use
Yeah.
it at all.
that's Derek Moran who invented so many wonderful things.
Cool.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Derek
Howard.
Moran,
That's awesome.
he is very ingenious guy. And Alan Perret, too. I think they both had some really good ideas.
Where do you get those tips?
Oh, I
I
don't know.
get them at my hobby shop.
I got a bunch of them.
You have a hobby shop?
Oh, no, wait. I got them at the Boeing surplus store long ago.
Oh,
The hobby shop in Salt Lake.
guess we're not
has it.
getting any.
Where the hell is there a hobby shop anymore?
We got one in Salt Lake, but they don't have much airplane stuff.
I have two hobby shops in my area. And I know,
The hobby shop obsolete.
yeah, they are kind of going away, but
What's a hobby shop?
What's a hobby shop?
We went from 5 to 1, but at least we still have one.
yeah, at least you said, well, hey, Steve, thanks for coming in.
Hey, Steve.
We have a couple, but they're all like RC car crap now. That's just about it.
Yeah, well, they got to stay in business. You know, if they relied on me, they'd be broke.
Yeah,
They'd be out of business because I hardly ever.
I
You know,
go in
my-
there for, I go
That's
in there,
why we only have one left.
Yeah, I know.
I go in there for glue, pipettes, wheels and spinners and props. That's what I
You
go.
say pants or pets?
Props.
That's
Oh,
pipettes.
props. Okay, I thought you said pets. I was gonna say, wow, that's quite a shop.
I think it said pipettes.
okay.
Those transfer pipettes. You can find those in your local hobby store as well. Yes,
Hey,
Carl.
Mike,
Do you want to say something, Carl?
I recognize that airplane.
Did you give him that plane?
Yeah,
What is it?
the Vector.
Okay. Carl, was you trying to say something, Carl?
I was,
Oh, that same computer.
well, you can buy those tubes from Brodak, you know, the small ones that go in on the end of the bottle.
Right. Yeah. Well, Brodax is kind of like your local hardware hobby shop, right?
Hey, everybody got to go to Pennsylvania to go to the hobby store.
Yeah.
It's a long drive for you.
Uh-huh.
Just
You ain't kidding.
ship them out to you.
Gotta go to the hobby store. I'll be back in 8 days.
Have dinner ready when I get here.
Suggest you go the second week of June, make the contest.
Oh, shoot.
10 years from now, you'll have to drive to Ecuador to get your balsa wood.
I already got mine. I don't need any more.
I get mine. I get my balsa.
I'm done buying balsa. I'm not buying any more balsa. I'm finished.
Yeah, the one thing with pipettes, and I'm not sure, I ordered some, got a bunch of them. The hole's really big.
Well,
I
there's
mean, you can't hardly control it.
Yeah, you got to
two
get the
different
smaller.
sizes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't say, it just said pipettes. I didn't see no size on it, but I figured there is.
Yeah, I made the same mistake, Steve. Yeah, you learn that you need to look for. I think I used 0.1 millimeter. I think pipettes, or 0.5 millimeters.
The bigger ones work for thick CA.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I like better than pipettes are pepperettes.
What the hell is a pepperette?
It's like a garage.
I get a garage, yeah.
Garage.
Garage, yeah, garage.
Hey, Lynn, I figured out why I'm so confused about the FAI.
Why are you so? You got it right today. Anyway.
I know, because I figured out why I get confused is because I watch FIA Formula One racing.
Oh well, that'll screw you up huge. That'll do it. I get it now.
I'm seeing FIA all the time, and that's why I've been saying FIA when I should be saying FAI.
There
Well,
we
they're
go.
both French.
It's not really FIA, it's F1A.
That's what it is?
Yeah,
It's not Federation International Automotive.
Wow.
Formula One Association.
No,
That's what it. Okay, I thought it was. I assumed it was an I.
Screwed up.
Yeah.
It's Federation International Automotive.
Wow, yeah.
And FAI is Federation Aviation International.
No. Yeah.
Hey,
It's
Tom,
all
thanks for
French.
coming in.
Hey, Tom.
Girls, hi guys.
Watch your new
Hey,
video
Tom.
yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Number 4,
Yeah.
mounting the servo in the wing.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Got it all in.
Oh, look at that. Make it big, Tom. Hang on a second. Oh, very cool. Very nice.
Got the leading edge to shape yet.
Right.
And
Well, that's
I'm
got
working on the center section also.
That's got an extreme sweep on it, doesn't it?
Very nice.
Extreme what? Oh, the taper?
Sweep. Yeah, the leading edge sweep.
That's pretty severe.
Very, very cool, Tom.
Yeah, I've got several videos now on YouTube, on my YouTube channel from the build, starting with cutting all the ribs with the laser cutter.
Yeah, I watched that, and then I must have missed something because now you're building the wing or putting the servo in. I missed the wing, but
I haven't built the fuselage yet. All I've done is cut the formers out for the fuselage.
oh, okay.
But 7-foot wingspan.
Wow. This is going to be electric too, right? This is electric.
Well, you shoot for like 70 ounces on that.
Is this a classic?
I mean, just for the wing, Tom.
Is this a classic sailplane?
No, it's a C-47 twin engine.
Okay.
Same as a DC-3, but the military version of the DC-3.
Yeah, yeah. That had a different nose on it, didn't it?
I believe the nose is the same. I think the doors are different.
Yeah, the doors,
okay.
yeah. Because they jump, yeah, especially the jump plane.
So Keith, you made some progress on your wing, Keith?
I got the shear webbing in and now then ready for the cap strips and center section sheeting and tips, and then I'll be done.
Very cool.
The shear webbing with all the CA, I added a full ounce, went from 5 ounces to 6 ounces right now. So
wow. Maybe you should use that system that Howard showed. Where it's a little drop, and that thing wicks it up.
Yeah.
I've started going towards white glue and carpenter's glue because like CA, the fluid in there, that all stays there. It doesn't evaporate away, but in carpenter's and white glue, the water evaporates out, so you lose weight. It loses weight from when you first put it on to when it's cured.
But I think you didn't really do too bad because he has sugar webbing between the spars and he has sugar webbing on the trailing edge.
At 6 ounces, that's not bad.
That's a lot of wood he put in there.
Now, do you cut your shear webbing out, Keith, once you run your lines?
Well, this thing, the bell crank sits so far back because the tank sits in here, so the bell crank has to fit behind all the bell cranks behind the
That's kind of nice, and you can shear web the whole wing. Then you don't have to cut out half of the inboard wing.
So all the lead outs and everything's behind the shear webbing.
Can you show the shear webbing on the trailing edge as well?
Have you sanded that already?
What?
Have you sanded that already? Or
No.
started sanding it?
No. What?
I'm
The leading edge is a molded shell.
No, I was looking at the juncture of the stationary flap in the back of the wing there.
Oh, well, that's just sheet the way. I haven't sanded anything yet. No.
Nice fit.
And I don't know whether you can see.
I see it now. So there's wood there too. See all the shear webbing back there?
Yeah.
That's a lot of wood he added for only 1 ounce. I don't think that's that bad.
Well, this didn't add that much. That's all. I've done 30-second shear webbing back here. That's kind of hard to work with. And this is pretty light 16th I put in there. And then the shear webbing in the main spar, that's 3 32nd inch wood. And it's all vertical grain. I don't know if you can see the grain.
That's great.
Yeah, I can't see the grain, but I can see the craftsmanship. But very good work. Very good work.
And boy, I don't know if you remember last time when I just had the frame, this thing was all floppy. Just put that shear webbing on, this thing does not twist. And
I
that's
bet.
before the covering. So
Keith, have you ever done the X deal with pieces? The
yeah.
inside one on the outside.
Yeah, but the vertical grain does, I think, a better job.
Better job.
Yeah. And there's no way that the spars can crush. And I've got several reports about reading by mechanical engineers who supposedly know about how stress is carried through the wood and all that. But the vertical, some people say go ahead and do the cross pieces or even parallel grain through the span. But the vertical grain does a better job of making things stiff and keeping the things from bending and twisting.
Well, you're absolutely right on that. The vertical grain does, but the horizontal or the grain lengthwise is better than not having it in there.
Well, that's absolutely true. But the spars, all they have to carry is tension or compression.
Right.
They don't really carry any bending load. And then to keep them from compressing, that's what the vertical grain does, is keep the things from letting
Absolutely right.
bend in.
It's for your shear webbing, right? You're talking about?
Yeah.
And then we have the odd function of the I-beam wing.
Yeah. And you still, well, it has its own shear webbing in a solid spar, if you will. But I don't structurally, unless there's vertical grain in it, it's not as strong or stiff.
And I agree with you 100% on it. It's vertical grain is the best way to go.
It doesn't resist twist like a vertical grain, a spar with vertical grain webbing in it.
Yeah.
And as long as your building board is straight and this thing is held down flat on that building board, it comes out straight and it won't move anymore.
Have you seen how Gordon Delaney uses the trailing edge and the main spar set up to make the jig that you're building it on?
No.
Oh, if I can remember it, I'll send you. I'll see that you get a copy of his wing for the Pathfinder LE, because he uses that. That's why that wing is built upside down. So you got it all jigged, and you can set your gear in and everything. Yeah.
But putting in the trailing edge webbing, shear webbing, it over doubles the strength of the wing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just them little teeny pieces just make it so much stiffer. It's just crazy to leave out them little things. It's a lot of work, but
it's worth it.
Yeah.
And you don't tend to get it tends to keep you from getting warps in your trailing edge.
Yeah.
Helps keep it straight.
What are you building, Howard? You starting a new airplane?
No, it's a battery charger. You got, see that cool little display there? This is for maintaining a 12-volt wet cell.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I got these little displays from and power supplies from some Chinese website. So this is an excuse to do something with it.
So you got a bunch of 12-volt batteries that you got to maintain, or?
Well, I don't know. I've got a bunch that are probably all discharged now and furry. but yeah, if
you're not hooking that up to the Tesla, are you?
No.
I'm teasing.
The Tesla? Boy, it's gonna take them a month to charge that thing.
We just got a like from Philip Bailey. Thank you, Philip. Thanks for the like.
There's the display. Oh, it's aliasing there. Actually, it looks pretty steady.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I added carbon fibers to the spars.
Oh, good idea.
Oh, yeah.
Stiffen it up and give it more strength. You can see it right in here.
Yeah, I see it.
I do that. That works.
They plug in. Are they going to be plug-in wings, Tom?
No.
He's got
That's going to be one full 7-foot wing.
You must have a big car or a truck with a full-size bed.
You could strap it on. You could strap it on the roof and fly to the field.
Really?
You're just gonna fly it off your lake, right, Tom?
I may if I build a set of pontoons.
I was just saying, you get floats big enough, that'd be fun.
Did he ever make a DC-3 in a float plane?
Yep.
There is one. I saw one. Yeah.
I've seen pictures of one.
I've never seen one, but I figured somebody must have tried somewhere, somehow.
Boats and skis.
Yep, both. I think there was one in either Alaska or Canada that was being used for freighting,
Buffalo Airways.
Was that what it was?
But that had
Yellowknife.
Had the skis, but the tire came through the skis. Or they could lower the tire through the skis or move the ski up down below the tire or something, however they were fit. Because they would take off from a paved runway and land on a snow
glacier.
Yeah.
Huh.
Braking would be kind of iffy.
Yeah. Here comes Mark Wise. Hey, Mark, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Hey, good to see all you guys.
Hi, Mark.
Mark, how we doing?
We're doing okay.
Good stuff.
Good deal.
You're right in front of me.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll just share as quickly as I can my last 10 hours with you.
All right.
I had well, it's legitimate.
Okay.
Yeah, it isn't like you, Lynn.
Yeah, my last 10 hours, there's nothing legitimate about it all.
Well,
It's on rails.
I understand from your wife that when you do these, you have no pants on. So,
Oh,
I don't know what to say.
she's a liar.
The CA glue.
There's the wire.
There you go.
He ain't losing nuts to his.
Actually, I was fortunate enough to spend 10 hours with a very close friend of mine. That's Bob Hunt. And I went up there because I want to, one of the two planes that I'm working on for the end of March is a impact. And I got some great information from Howard and from Paul Walker. And Bob showed me basically how he designs an airplane and how he designs fixtures to make sure that the airplane fits together right with a minimum of spacing, a minimum of error. And it's really a very fascinating process to go through. And he just, between the experience and talent, it's the 10 hours went very quickly. I took he and Marianne out for dinner. I thought that was the least I could do. And it was very, very enjoyable. And even fixtures on how to bend the front end of a fuselage toward the front.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And some of you guys know this stuff, but
no, not all of us know.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, his shop is all full of ideas.
Yes. Yes. And I'm waiting for the chapter on being a better flyer, but he said that'll take time. So but it's an exciting thing to go through and to I'll just give you one idea of what he does, which to me is just so smart. And that is the fit between the wing and the fuselage. And what Bob does is build an extra panel. Even if it's a built-up wing, he'll make it out of foam of the exact specification of the wing that is going to be in the airplane. And he figures out exactly where that wing is going to enter, at what point on the wing will the wing enter the fuselage. And what he does, he'll take a foam core, put a leading and trailing edge on it, or a cap on the front, put 16th-inch balsa on it, and therefore he has the exact outline of the wing that he's going to use.
Right.
And then basically it's a matter of putting center lines on the side of the fuselage and a center line on the wing that he's going to insert. And you can do that, and then he traces that outline. And I'm telling you, that wing goes in there, and you have just about enough room for thin CA or something like that to fit. And because of the way he designs it, you don't even have to align it. It's dead straight. And it's just, it's such a joy to, be with someone who's creative enough like that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, the 10 hours went very quickly. Unfortunately, I just got home. It's about 2 hours away from me. And I'm just pumped. Everything's still in the car, but I'm going to make some molded top and bottom blocks, which I've done before. And Bob is very generous with his wood. And his village.
He is.
I'll tell you something. Last Sunday, I went, and Bob was there too, at the Garden State Circle Burner swap meet. I got to tell you, I've never seen so many sellers in one place in my life.
Right.
Wow.
And of course, everyone was waiting to buy until they sold some of their own stuff. But Bob probably had, 400 sheets of balsa.
Getting rid of all his 5-pound wood.
and it went in all different grades, and he told people what it was. But he was a 16th by 3 by 36 was either $2 or $3 a sheet, and you can't find that anywhere.
That's true.
And he's given a lot of wood away to free flight organizations. He has a lot of stick wood, and he just gave it to him. So, he's a pretty special guy. He has, his own stock. But the quantities that he buys it, he can cherry pick.
Yeah.
Bob's a great guy.
Yeah.
Bob's
Another thing
I've
that
known Bob for years. Excellent guy.
he is a great guy. Another thing he shared with me was that as Boston gets more expensive, he's found that he bought a, I forget what the real name, but it's a sander that'll change the thickness on your wood. And he said he's having a lot of luck making lighter airplanes using heavier, denser wood. Okay, making it a little bit less than 16th. And he said the advantage is it doesn't absorb filler and epoxy like softer wood does. So he said, while the wood may be slightly heavier, the finish is considerably lighter.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. So, I mean, I wish I had the intelligence to share everything with you, but it's just such a joy to be able to get with someone like that.
I wish I could. I'm out here in California, so it's just it's not going to happen.
So, yeah.
I've seen a lot of Bob's work, and spent a lot of times out there at the swap meet when I was out there in New Jersey, and that's a great event that they always had. Plus the other contests, they do an excellent deal.
They do, and it's a shame. I don't know if you guys know this. That's a marquee club, which right now is at a field that'll only allow electric, and there are 4 active members.
Yep.
Isn't that sad?
4.
Yeah.
And some of the great names in our hobby have gone through that club.
And
it's just a shame. They're in northern New Jersey. Real estate is difficult. And now they have noise issues, and
they had an excellent private field, and that was on Two Bridge Road in Lincoln Park.
Yeah.
At that time when I started that club, and that was back in the late 70s, it was $10,000 to maintain the field. We had a budget on that field, and it always remained the same. The guy never changed the rent on it, and we had to pay for our own landscaping and also our own maintenance and everything else to that. But the field was a great private field, and you were able to find anything you wanted on it. Up until the point that we had 40 members, and then all of a sudden the club started to really diminish. When I left, it was about 15 members, and that was about 12 years ago. Now it dropped down significantly, and to the point that they can't afford even the $3,000 that it was just for the field rent for a year.
Right.
He had dealt with it, and the guy was really nice with him, but he sold the property, and they now they got a place where they can only fly electric. Mike Costello was at our meet, and he filled us in a lot with that, and he's a member from over there. But there was a lot of good memories and a lot of good times out there.
Oh, absolutely. So, listen, Charles, before I shut up, Bob Whitley, have you gotten the decals?
No, I haven't yet, Mark.
Okay. I mailed them probably 6 days ago.
Oh, I don't expect them for another week or two then.
Okay.
The mail between the States and Canada is so slow.
No problem.
I figure it's a miracle if I get anything within 2 weeks.
And I put a note on there, please don't give any of them to Len, okay?
Perfect.
Okay. And Charles, I just got yours out.
Oh, thank you,
We'll
Mark.
make Len put extra Mac decals on.
There you go. So I'll shut up. It's good to see you guys.
Oh, it's great to see you, Mark. Thanks for coming in.
So guys, just a quick hello to everyone. I just got a message from the hospital. I got to go pick up a friend who's being discharged that I apparently didn't know was even in the hospital. And where I got to pick him up is 40 miles away.
Wow.
So it's going to be a fun night. So I really was looking forward to a session with you tonight, but duty comes first.
Yeah.
Drive careful.
Yeah, absolutely. Drive careful.
Yeah, it's pretty icy out here right now. We've had a really miserable 2 weeks of weather. It's finally going to break on Sunday, I guess. But like I texted or mentioned the other night on comments that we had day after day of 20 or 30 below and blowing snow. And it's been
Gee.
miserable.
Wow.
Wow. Hey, Bob,
Yo.
before you go, can he wait?
I'm tempted to make them, but
Man, this is the
since nobody
point.
called me that he was in the hospital.
No, that's very nice of you.
Yeah.
Just be careful.
So,
Yeah,
John?
be careful.
John's on tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah. Did you get my address there, John? Or did something get lost? I never did receive that package.
I haven't said it yet, Bob.
Oh, okay.
I apologize.
No panic on it. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't lost in Canada Post somewhere.
No, it's not lost. I've got your address on the tube. I still have the tube. I haven't even opened it yet. So,
Okay, inside the tube is mailing labels for you already printed.
Outstanding. I've got it sitting right there, ready to box up. I'm waiting for a box to come around that's about the right size.
Okay, what you do, or in the meantime, I might give one of my other ones away as a Christmas present to someone who's in need. So
okay.
Well, no pressure or anything. I was just curious if it got lost.
Maybe I can get it out so it'll be a Christmas present to you.
Maybe. Yeah.
What do you got there, Stuart?
This one's for Bob.
That's good. I like it.
Isn't that it? Although the hell of it is, we haven't had all that much snow, just enough to keep polishing the roads to ice.
I saw this on Facebook the other day.
I remember, Bob, when I lived in Alaska, just a little bit north of you.
Hey, Stuart.
I loved it when the roads got iced up because it was easier driving than it was on the dirt roads.
Well, I was going off to have brunch with Friday morning brunch, like a bunch of the old guys do from my old control line club and one of the RC clubs every Friday. And as I'm heading onto one of our freeways, the off ramp or on ramp, woman in front of me spun right around and ended up against the curb facing me. So I had to wait for her to get turned around. And yeah, it's just one of those days.
You be careful. By the way, do you know the difference? You guys know the difference between snowmen and snow women?
Yeah, snowmen have snowballs.
Snowballs, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys from Canada, have you ever heard of Starbond CA?
No.
Nope.
No. Shut. I've been watching this woodworking guy from, I don't know. I think he's from the east side of Canada over there, and he recommends Starbond, and I looked it up, and he said they sold it in the U.S. And you can get a 2-ounce bottle with two big, the screw-on tips. It comes with a cap, and a bunch of like little the pipette things that don't have the squeezer on them.
Okay.
Go on them.
So that goes in the bottle.
$11 here.
Wow.
Yeah, for what I use is what I've used for the last decade or so is the stuff Sparky's been promoting lately, the 2P10 stuff. I get it from one of my wholesalers for dirt cheap compared to the hobby shop. But 2P10 is an industrial line, and it is just an awesome adhesive.
It's crazy in here. They have black, dark brown, brown, and clear.
Wow.
One thing about CA is trying to see, talking about the way to CA, how much you're putting on.
Yeah.
You got the brown or the dark brown. You could see the drops or where it was.
Yes.
Filling in.
That's a very good idea.
Plus, they make a medium. They make thin, medium thick, and thick. So
yeah, the super thick stuff, they call it a gel in the 2P10. I never ever use it. It just it was too thick to be practical for anything anyway. So essentially, I ended up tossing it. I bought a kit which had all of them in it, and then the big refill bottles. And the gel I found wasn't worth the bother. And the medium, I just kept forgetting to use the darn stuff. So all I've been buying now is the thin and the thick.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought I'm gonna get some of the colored CA.
I think that's a great idea.
You don't have to buy colored CA, Steve. They sell dyes to put in CA for wood
Then you
matching.
gotta
And
buy the
whatnot.
dye.
Yeah, but
I
a
mean,
bottle of dye will
I
last
can
you
get,
3
I
life.
can get a bottle of this CA that's for 2 ounces for $11. That is cheap.
Yeah, if you
It's
can
around
get it.
here
Like
anyway.
I'm saying though, Steve, for the other guys, if they go to a woodworking shop, you should be able to get the dye for the CA and turn any CA you've got into the colored if they can't get the stuff that's specific, like you're saying.
Oh, that's a neat idea. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Now, the
Yeah.
CA you're talking about, Bob, is 2B. You said 2B what?
2P10.
2B10?
2 Papa 10.
Okay.
I'll show you. I just keep refilling the small bottles out of my big one.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
And then for an accelerator,
Hey, Dennis, made it in.
Finally.
Hey,
yeah, for an accelerator, I just buy it in the big spray bomb.
How much is that?
I don't know. I just pay my account when it comes due. It's fairly cheap. Now, then again, I go through a wholesaler. In Canadian dollars, a large refill, which I could dig out a bottle for you if you want. I don't remember the size. I pay about $35 or $40 Canadian for the big one. These little bottles come in at maybe, I don't know, probably $10 or so. But I just keep refilling the small ones. I got to buy more small ones though, because the bottles are wearing out. I've been using the same one for probably the last 5 or 10 years. But it's a pretty economical way to go. You know, I just keep the.
Yeah, but what's economical if you don't know the price?
I bought it 10 years ago, Steve. Give me a break.
Okay. It may not be economical now then.
It may not be. I can guarantee it's going to be cheaper than Randy than the stuff
Smith?
in Bob Smith stuff in the hobby shop.
Yeah,
And the thing is
that's why
about this stuff, they actually
this
have a
other stuff-
manufacturing date on it.
For a big spray can of it, $16.
Hey, Steve.
And then you can buy the pump kind also.
Yeah. If I had the time, I'd look it up for you on my account tonight, but I don't have the time. I got to get going to the hospital. So I'll see you guys hopefully Monday. I
All right.
I
See you, Bob. Thanks for coming in.
Take it easy, Bob.
Drive
Bye now.
careful.
Hey, Steve, Home Depot sells Instabond.
No, this is Starbond.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Starbond is STARBOND.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud.
So this is 2P10.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
So, Dennis, what you been up to?
Man, I have been busy as heck getting absolutely nothing done. So what can I say? So we've had lots of things going on with the holidays and all that kind of stuff. And I was getting ready for to host a nice party for stunt flyers tomorrow. And
Nice.
I've had 4 people bail out. 4 out of 7 means not much for a party anymore. It's going to be Wes and I, and then Larry's going to come over from Plymouth. So it's going to be the regular flying group. So
All right. Well, hey, that's neat.
we haven't seen each other for a while, so that's still all right. And but other than that, life goes on. Life goes
What-
on. I'm
what are
sorry
you
I
guys
missed
gonna
you the
do?
last couple of times, but whatever.
So what kind of things you gonna do for the party? I've never been to a control line party.
We were going to sit around the table, eat pizza, and tell lies.
That sounds good.
I can't believe there is anybody in this room here understand that perfectly. I think so.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So now, actually, one thing we were hoping on, and Wes and I have been talking about it. We've got a real nice place to fly, and we think we can host a contest next year. So we're going to be looking into that and seeing what we can do with it. So I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do, or even when we're going to do it, but it's one of the things I wanted to talk about here. We get up here, we get pretty busy with contests like, after the nationals, like month of August, we got like one, like every single week, and into September, and then it kind of slows down. And I was wondering if we could have some kind of a season opening kind of a meet, which around here, that's a real dice roll as far as what kind of weather we're going to get or anything like that. But I thought that might be a nice thing. If we don't have it before Brodak, then we're going to be stuck trying to compete with one of the existing meets, and I just don't want to do that. So we're thinking about doing something in either mid to late May. There was a group in Chicago used to run a meet on Memorial Day, and they haven't run it the last couple of years. And I think I'm going to check with them and see if see if they have any plans, and if they don't, we might sneak something in there. But it'll be a first time meet for us, so expectations will not be sky high, but we'll just see how it goes. So
Would that be Fort Wayne?
that would be in Fort Wayne.
How far is that for us, Brad?
Good job, Dennis.
That would be
Get on 94, go to 69, turn left, and about an hour down the road.
Yeah, west till you smell it, south till you step in it. But
Fort Wayne's 2.5 hours.
It would be about an hour and a half short of Muncie, Len. So whatever you do to Muncie, about an hour and a half, the hour 45 short of that. So
that's pretty good.
We go to Muncie in a different route than you do.
Yeah,
we go down 75 and cut across Ohio and Indiana.
I don't know what route Glenn took, but he went, by the way of California or something. How long did it take you? 7.5 hours to get there?
7.5 hours to get there.
Yeah.
I screwed it up royally.
So he must have went up. He must have looped up into the UP, hit 75, and come down.
Something like that. I think they were in Minnesota there for a while, Tom. But I think Tom set them straight, sent them south. But Brad's right on target there. You are, how far are you from Detroit, Len? About an hour and a half.
Same as Brad.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. And from Detroit to Fort Wayne is short side of 3 hours. So
4.5 hours to 5 hours.
In fact, my wife and I had to go.
So for me, that's about 7. That's okay.
Yeah, it's still a pretty good ride for you, but it'll be farther than say Bobby McDonald's contest by about an hour and a half.
That's not bad.
Leave a day early, Len. You'll be there on time.
Yeah, exactly.
Bob McDonald's contest is pretty close to us.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I have a question, a response from Jeff Riley. I asked about control line party, and he said, at the control line party, does the pinata spill bell cranks and fuel tanks?
Pinata.
Batteries.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
no,
funny,
tell Jeff the pinata is full of Fox 35s. So
heard you.
I'll tell you what, if it were, I think we might see Mr. Riley in Fort Wayne tomorrow afternoon.
He'd be there.
Yeah, he'd be there. So
is there anybody on here that doesn't have a Fox 35?
I think I still have one.
Stuart doesn't have one.
Stuart doesn't have one. You don't have one.
I'll be right back. I got one I could show you.
I have a McCoy Redhead 35.
Okay.
Oh, very cool.
Got one of those.
That'll do.
Yeah, I got one of those too.
The 2P10 it's just $2 more than what the Star Bond is on Amazon.
Yeah, Jeff Riley said awesome for the Fox 35.
Yeah, that's it.
Or a buck more.
I tell you what, if Jeff is asking for what you call it, coordinates for his Google Maps, I think we'll be all set here. But
wow, look at that one.
What's that? Oh, I mean, make
Fox
it big,
35.
Make it big.
Yeah,
there.
but it's
2-bolt, yeah.
That's a sandcast.
Wow.
4-bolt head. Look at that sucker.
Yeah, the 2-bolt backplate is literally the very first generation Fox 35.
Wow, I've never seen one of those.
Isn't that something?
Very,
Wow. It still has that Fox 35 look. That's amazing.
Doesn't
Yeah.
have the numbers on the motor. No displacement
Nope.
on it.
No, they made 29s and 35s like this, and I think the 29 had something stamped on the bottom of the lug. This one doesn't, so
29.
I'm assuming it's a 35. So I found a 29 before, and it was marked someplace. I forget where, on the lugs or something like that.
Wow, interesting.
But this is in my brother's stuff. He had found it and set it aside. But Fox used to use a totally different style needle valve.
Yeah, I haven't seen that needle.
Isn't that wild?
And it doesn't have the flare and the venturi and stuff. And I think it was John said, it's a sand casting. I guess this backplate was famous for warping and leaking and stuff like that. I don't think they made an awful lot of these before they switched over to this 3-bolt backplate that you're used to seeing.
Yeah.
Then they had a couple of different style, according to Marvin Denny, who's no longer with us, they had a couple of different style heads. They had this one, and they had one with oh, wait a minute. This might be the hot head because it's got they called it a hot head because it had very, very low fins. I guess the hot head was supposed to keep the fuel lit better or something like that. And then they had one with more fins on it, I think. I don't know. But in a world full of Fox 35s, this one just kind of stands out. So
No kidding. No kidding.
Nice to see one. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's pretty awesome.
yeah, that's it. So I cannot figure out where the ESC plugs in, but
yeah,
It's right on top there, Dennis. A little stud sticks up. Yeah, right there. That's
okay. I thought that was the on-off button.
No,
Okay.
that's where that plugs in. It's a little bit different than
that's funny.
I thought Dennis was the stud.
Who are you and what have you done to Mark?
Hey guys, I'm gonna end the live stream, so we're gonna just continue on, but without being televised. The revolution.
I'm going home anyways.
All righty,
Good night,
well,
guys.
Good night,
thanks for
Brad.
coming in, Brad. Long
Nice to
time
see
no
you,
see.
Brad.
Brad.